out to all my Hexicans flexing. We all be repping these investments with no stress. Richard blessed us, we're getting Rolexes, Louis V and the new Benz. Tell all your true friends, sacrificing coins to this new sense. Stake it till you make it 55.55, but don't cry, dry your eyes when your old coins die. PulseChain will be insane and the gains will reign truly. Snack on blockchains like my name is Scooby. ETH got a strap down with gas now, but Rick's about to burn the fees up just like a joint getting passed around. My whole Hex fam be all bros with Lambos. Worst nightmare to this crypto like Rambo. It's going up like a ship to the stars. It's always giving the creator, he must have a rich heart. PulseChain gang got me all covered in bling. They're covered in rings. Ricky keeps doing his thing. Got a bunch of fucking haters in your crypto fam. So good with numbers, dumb enough to think that Hex is scam. You know it all, but bits tanking now. 40% isn't enough, go get a bank account. When we compare what they can give you on a yearly gain, I'll be flipped.
G'day. How is everyone going? My name is Dozza, and this is my old mate, Base Radian. How you going there, buddy?
I'm good. G'day.
That's good.
How's things?
G'day, and welcome everyone to the Crypto Happy Hour. Happy in name only.
Hello, Cell Pressure.
Hello, Cell Pressure indeed. Yes. It's been another interesting couple of weeks, but yeah, I think overall crypto has been going a bit of sideways, which is kind of interesting because people are sort of saying, you know, it's a bull market. Oh no, we've gone into the bear market, and it's like
it's a bipolar market.
It's a crab market. It's a crab market. It's going sideways. You're just too zoomed in is the problem. It's like you're literally just zoomed right in there.
You're on the like 5-second candles.
Yeah. Get off the 5-minute chart.
Get off them.
Get back to the weeklies. Not a lot is happening. It's going sideways. But if you zoom right in to any sort of sideways market, you can think that it's going up or down.
Yeah.
So yeah, bit of crab market action. Some of the things that have been happening are bullish for PulseChain. The bridge has got a pretty steady uptick of inflows. So probably, yeah, since really probably the start of July.
That's an uptick.
It's been going up. It is. It's almost got two separate waves. And in this week we've had a bit of sell pressure, as you mentioned, Base Radian, because of the whole Better Bank fiasco. So
what happened with that?
So I didn't even know Better Bank was a thing, to be honest. I think there are a lot.
I don't either.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of these protocols that are out there that will claim to give you decent APR.
Oh, that chestnut.
Some description. Yeah, and so really it's the whole...
Was it centralized? Like a...
No, I think it's...
Okay.
I think it was a DeFi platform, you know, apparently it was audited, but the code, so in the audits, it had said that there was a potential exploit where someone could mint this favor token, and then there would they could basically
compounding loop
rinse. Yeah, like a feedback loop. And, but they said it wasn't a big deal, and, you know, no one would use it in that way or something. They sort of minimized
they didn't patch it before going
audit.
live.
No. So
so you just read the order, its instructions on how to disassemble the machine.
Exactly. It's like you can't just say my code is audited. You have to do
did
what
you
the
fix
audit
what they
tell you
found?
to do. Like, yeah, you can't just be, yeah, they audited it. They said it was buggy as shit, but it's audited.
Yeah, it's always we
it's
paid
been
for an
audited.
audit. We didn't fix it.
Yeah, they went all through the code and they found heaps of bugs, but it's been audited. So, yeah, look, you have to follow through with what the audit recommends. Otherwise, why bother auditing it?
Yeah,
And even then, audits can miss stuff as well.
it absolutely can miss stuff. Most of what it's doing, most of what an audit is running what for other code, right, is called a linter, which just runs through your code and checks for problems that aren't compile problems, but can be problems.
Okay.
So there's things you can check like reentrancy, which is like coming back into the contract after you've gone in once, and you can like drain a loop. If you can do that,
Okay.
needs a guard. There's tons of stuff like that you can set up your tools to be like, okay, check for this and tell me when that is in the code so I can fix it. That's basically what an audit is. With some nice styling, it's a tool usually called Slither that they run on the code base, and like anyone can do it. And you'll find all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. So just because something's been audited, the guys actually have to follow through and do the recommendations from the audit. I think that's like part of the audit process.
Absolutely.
And so, but without knowing, a lot about the specifics of this, I feel like it's also when you have a complicated protocol, it's get that Rube Goldberg kind of look about it, where you've got to be, wow, there's a lot of code, a lot of moving parts. It's, simplicity by design is less likely to have failures.
Every
so
time.
The more complicated
and everything's
you
a
make
fork on a
something,
fork on a fork these days.
Yeah, so you introduce complexity, you introduce potential risk. And so it's the whole, chasing pennies in front of freight trains. If you really yield, that juicy yield, don't do it with your entire stack, because you get rinsed. It's a fairly high risk thing, I would have thought, to be.
It's risk on. You got contract risk, which is like kind of counterparty.
It's risk on risk on risk on risk. You know what I mean? Like it's
leverage on leverage on leverage.
It's just it's already
it can also be to the downside, right?
Oh yeah. So there's a lot of complexity with the farms and things like that, and if you don't have doxed founders, I think that's always a concern, because it's like,
it's a
why
concern.
aren't you going
It's a concern.
like,
it's not
like
the
particularly for like farms and things.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's a meme coin, I care less, because it's a very simple thing. They've done some open Zeppelin.
Yeah, but Bitcoin's not a meme coin, and he's not doxed. Well, we think.
It depends. Yeah. I know what you're saying. And then
you see where I'm going? Like, if you want to change the world, do it anonymously.
Okay, fair point. All right, I'll concede that.
And that's of Bitcoin's benefit, I think.
But there's also the Lindy effect, right? Where Bitcoin has now been around for 20 plus years. It's
he's long.
It's earned its trust. It hasn't been around for 2 weeks, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like
the 5-minute pump and dumps around on Solana and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So trust is earned. And you probably in this industry, of permissionlessness and trustlessness,
it is the Wild West.
Trust anything, which is why you don't put your whole stack into dodgy things promising high yield. But also trust is earned, over time. So yeah, that would be my only thing about that. Stay away from the carrot of juicy yield. It's not worth it. Or if you're going to do it on a fresh wallet with not much of your percentage of your stack.
As far as I'm aware, it's just an ERC printing itself, right? With what you stake something up front. I guess.
Are you talking about the Better Bank thing?
Yeah. So like you give them an asset and then they in return give you a yield, and that's held in a contract, right?
I'm not sure. No, okay. I don't know the particulars of it.
All I'm saying is you gotta like they're, I feel like yield farming, like with a good like layer on top of Uniswap or something that's been around for ages and ages. Then there's like something happening, right? You're like gaining the fees, there's generating income. So that's like a real thing. But just printing an ERC20 for, well.
So liquidity providing and earning fees, particularly on something like Uniswap or a forked Uniswap, like, or PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, whatever, you I think you'd be pretty comfortable with that code, like PulseX, for example. And
PulseX, absolutely.
But even then, they had issues with V1, V2. So you got the farms and things like that. But yeah, and look, I do trust the PulseX farms, and I probably would trust, even, loosely, not obviously with your full stack or anything, but I like the idea of the 9mm V3 LP.
Yeah, we still don't have like a massive liquidity V3, really.
Well, it's pretty much the only one. I think 9inch does it as well. True Blue, how you going there?
Yeah, how welcome.
I just want to say welcome to Big Rig. If you got your mic sus.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Does it sound all right?
Yeah, sounds good, mate. How you been, bro?
Sweet. Yeah, going pretty good.
All good. Just discussing the Better Bank thing. That's all.
Yeah, it's been a bit interesting. I'm not on top of everything too much, but I've heard there's been some shenanigans, so it's not good.
Yeah, and the fallout as well, because it seems like Somi has got a bit of beef now with Liberty Swap. So it's all bloody days of our lives,
Yeah,
it's sort of
days of our lives.
It's like I don't care about the drama. Like,
yeah,
people need to just cool heads prevail. Patience is key. Just
to keep some things going. You almost need the drama. Like for someone like Somi that needs content and needs to keep name growing and stuff. You can't just keep talking about HEX and PulseChain and that you think it's going to moon one day. You almost have to love, enjoy this stuff. So, and I think people need to take that and understand that when they're listening to these things as well. He is creating a show. So I like to think that we don't do that here as much as just report on what we think is going on a little bit and not go too deep into things and almost like you're creating more. But yeah. Don't know.
The drama thing, I think, is a bit unwarranted in the sense that Base Radio and I are talking about these different farm protocols, and I should know more about Better Bank, but I don't. But you know, some of these things you really got to. There is an element of trust, especially if they're sort of new to the scene. Whereas like the pump tires meme coins, that code, as far as we know, is not malicious. So any pump tires meme is like there's low risk, but engaging these apps or dApps is a little bit high risk. But then you've got the blowback onto Liberty Swap is saying because their team is undoxed and their code is unaudited, then they're going to rug people. But it's a bridge. It's not a custodial platform. It's not like you're putting your funds into a contract that is just sitting there for months and months and months. You put it into the contract, and then like 3 minutes later, you get Pulse in your wallet. That's the end of their custodial, responsibility. So unless you're getting rugged in that 3 minutes, and then if that happens, their entire business model is gone, right? And no one will ever use them again. So they can only ever rug someone for 10 minutes. And it's probably not going to be our pleb bags that they're going to run. They're not going to try and get our $50. They're going to, And then the other thing is, if you are using thousands and thousands of dollars, well, don't use Liberty Swap anyway, because they charge a 0.3% fee. Just use the bridge, which is 0% fee to bridge in. The only reason why you'd be using LibertySwap is because 0.3% of like a small amount of money is not a big deal.
Yeah,
so
and
like,
for speed as well. And that's about it. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if you're dealing with large amounts of money, then you probably shouldn't be using them in the first place.
Yep. Exactly.
Anyway, like this is like the based, like obvious take, but then people want to like sensationalize it and be like, oh, LibertySwap high risk. It's like, well, not really, because the whole transaction
everything incurs a risk, right? But I think,
yeah, but once it's in your wallet,
it's not a long window that your assets are up for risk. Like you put something in, you get something out, and it's done.
Exactly.
I mean, that's true for a lot of things, but this particular abstraction, there is some like, as far as I know, like how bridges work, like as long as they're running their whatever they've got their platform on,
it's the wrapped tokens that are, I guess, a concern, because when you wrap a token, I think
but if your smart contract that prints or wraps the tokens is good,
it still goes through the main bridge. Doesn't it just go through the same Omni bridge anyway?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're doing some things where it's like
you can do off-chain behavior and then have like a set of liquidities across all chains.
I think they have a
and then you just kind of transfer between your own wallets and exit out one way to the other. That's how I would do it.
Buffer. Yeah, that's how I would do it too. I would have a buffer on the other side and then just authorize, do some sort of ZK proof or something that
just as long as they're in sync, right? Whatever hands the information from one blockchain to the other, there's like a centralized Oracle type thing.
Yeah.
As long as that is fairly,
I think that is how it works. I think it is, because they talked about how there was a rush on the liquidity, and then they had to open up those pools for people to add liquidity to. So they just have a liquidity pool on the other side, which they pay out.
Which is like almost like a, well, it's
a buffer, like a store, like a
almost
well
like
on the other side.
V2 pair.
Anyway, not a big deal. I think, people just, there's nothing going on because it's like sideways markets, and people zooming in and just sort of saying that it's all over. And yeah, I don't really see it. I see Bitcoin dominance going down, but so Bitcoin is still in an uptrend. This is the weekly time frame, making higher highs. Yeah, it's had a pullback, but nothing too serious. The Bitcoin dominance is actually broken out of an uptrend, which is good for alts, right? It's good for ETH. Yeah. And so hence we've seen ETH BTC also
that is
break that downtrend, and ETH BTC is starting to, make higher highs and do the march. So this is exactly what we wanted, right? Like this is towards the end of the year, Q4, Ethereum needs to be taking off. And in the last 6 or 7 weeks, which we haven't got to yet, is when the capital flows to more risk on assets like, altcoins.
Yep.
So
that's the fundamental.
Yeah, this seems like exactly what we wanted. I mean, if it was still in this downtrend, I'd be concerned.
Definitely. Also, no signs of it turning around, which it has. But yeah, like you were saying, I've even seen people on X that are PulseChainers or whatever you want to say. They're like, that's it, I'm out. I've had enough. Can't handle this any longer. Been waiting forever, and it's like, what the heck? Like
first big pump.
Yeah, we are so close. Like, come on.
It's the duration of time to be this sort of stressed. So you can have a stress test when it goes down 50% like in a day. That will stress people out. But this is like, instead of acute stress, this is like chronic stress over like 4.5 years.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
It's
really
it gets to people for sure. But then that's when you just stop looking at charts and go down the beach or something. Like just trust the process. We always said it would be the end of this year. A lot of people I've noticed are pushing goalposts and saying now it's going to be 2026 and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't
give it.
Maybe like it's an indication that it will be less than spectacular, but I think it will exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long for coins to go up. Like this is the thing.
It's that final like massive pump of like for like a week or two, right? That is just like irrational exuberance, and then we can experience the free fall.
Yeah,
I mean, this is Crow, as in crypto.com, Kronos, and this is in the last couple of days, and it's just gone bang.
Yeah,
and that's all on news with Trump, isn't it? That he's sort of in with them.
Yeah, this is the news with Trump, and then but it shows like this is like a, probably tens of billions of dollar market cap, and it was able to move, in how many days? 3 days. It did a 2x. So yeah,
all you had to be in was 2 days, and you could have 2x'd. What kind of return can you get that like that? Right? You can't do that with the S&P 500. If you had bought just a couple days ago and then sold today, which probably someone did.
Yeah.
I mean, have a longer period of time for accumulation, but where can you get like a 2x over 2 days?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the industry that we're in. I'm still bullish on crypto as a whole, and I've got some clips that we can talk about, which be interesting to look at while there's not a lot happening. But the S&P 500 is breaking all-time highs. So stonks, $6,500.
Stonks.
Yeah, and this V is really interesting. This is the tariff FUD. I just wanted to. Oh, let me say hello to the chat real quick, and then I'll show you a couple of clips even. Yo, what is up? DeFi rules. What's going on, bro? Bloodfish from the deep sea. What is going on? How you going there? Crypto class. She's got a stream tomorrow morning, I believe. Received her package, the Princess Leia hologram. Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
Any
news on the old package?
Help me, Papa Richie. Pop my bag. You're my only hope.
Senpai Richard.
Don't do marketing.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't market anything, guys. You get sales without marketing. Come on.
What is up, Condor Man? We'll watch the replay. Appreciate that. McNuggets, what is up? You are a legend yourself, sir. And the Dingo, my man.
Nice.
What's going on? Yeah, so let me show you a quick clip while we were talking about this S&P 500 V.
Yeah.
The debt.
Because I thought this was interesting. Other people may not.
I do know two things, that markets are symmetric. So the faster your decline, the faster the bounce. That's
always.
Yeah.
Chartkit has a great one.
Yeah. So we showed that basically, unless there's a recession, it's always a symmetric bounce. It's the ratio is like 1.4 to 1.7. So if it took 8 weeks to lose 20, you'll recover it back in 1.4 times that length.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, it's always like there's a
symmetry.
ratio.
Why? Yeah. So why do so many people think V-shaped recoveries are anomalous when, based on what you're saying, they're actually the norm?
I think people don't study history.
Bam. So I thought that was an interesting clip from Tom Lee. Basically, he was talking about the indexes, so S&P 500, and for historical crashes, like big crashes like GFC and things like that. But this tariff FUD one also counts. And so this was probably, I mean, this is recent, right? This is not that long ago. So for example, this went down 32 days. So, I mean, depends on your logic, but I think he said from 1.4 to 1.7. Yeah. So if 1.7 times the 32 days down is 54. And
So
then
that
to get
is
back,
spread out across more,
look at this.
slightly more
Yeah.
days.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So it's around
And
about
just
50,
continues to
54,
go
55.
up and to the right over time.
So his supposition, I guess, is that it's 1.7 times the time to go down is the length it takes to get back to where it was. And if that's the case, then you're in a bull market, because this shit doesn't happen in a bear. You know what I mean? You make lower lows and it just cascades down.
Yeah.
So it's sort of actually showing strength, even though you're at all-time high. This is actually saying that stonks are showing strength. I mean, we know it's because the dollar's purchasing power is going down, right? So it's like everything is worth more in dollary dues. But yeah, it's a little bit of a sad take when you realize just how bad inflation is. But on paper, everyone is making money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you want to make more money than you got to get out ahead, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly. So even in dollar terms. Yeah. So, I mean, you could argue that when we're talking about, crypto doing well, really you have to compare it to Bitcoin. So say Sol, BTC. So Sol's been doing really well this week. And I'm kind of hoping that it is breaking out of this downtrend in BTC terms, because I was concerned that it was going to do the ETH BTC, cascade to zero. And I was like, oh fuck, I don't want to see that happen to Sol. But that's why I was like, I thought it was a bit of in terms of risk or reward, I was like concerned to be in Sol. But against Bitcoin, it seems to be making its move back, which makes sense because the Bitcoin dominance is dropping, right? So everything is improving their ratio against BTC. So Tron BTC ratio is doing better because BTC is basically in a crab market. It's going sideways.
Everyone gets on via BTC, and then where does that go? Well, it goes into other cryptos. It usually, it can sell for back to dollary dues, but once in crypto, it kind of flows onto the rest of crypto,
so
right?
I feel like there's like a turning point where people kind of go, we're going to be in BTC for the whole way, but once Ethereum breaks out of that downtrend, like the ETH BTC, then now the better ROI is in Ethereum, and it happens with all the leverage. So all the leverage longs, then they have to liquidate them. So then the exchanges have to make the price go down to, they use market makers to liquidate longs. So then you get that choppy kind of wall of worry going up. But yeah, we are starting to see that transition away from BTC. And it's not to say that BTC will go down. It just means that it won't go up as fast as the other alts.
As like we install a new pendulum to the top of the BTC thing, right? And then it just kind of does an extra little wickety-do.
Yeah, it's like a rate of change thing. So it's like the gradient, like the rate of change of the alts, it's going to be steeper than BTC, even though BTC is going higher. Then at some point there probably will be a blow off top, and then that's like the signal that all the alts are about to just
someone will get that price.
Yes, but it does seem to be a lot of manipulation going on. So there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about, because a lot of people talk about these institutions and how now that the institutions are in, then we won't go down as much because there's so much more liquidity in the system and XYZ. And I've sort of said this before that I don't think it's going to be different, even though you got institutional buyers in. So this was about a week ago. There was $100 billion wiped out in 24-hour period. And if you actually looked at it, it was things like ARK Invest, sold $64 million worth of BTC. I think there were like BlackRock as well. So if I check down here, so there was some massive sales. But then, you know, now BlackRock just bought $300 million worth of ETH, like just recently. But definitely a couple of days ago, oh yeah, Binance was dumping to liquidate longs. So you could actually see, this is Wintermute. They basically get these market makers to change, you know, manipulate the price so that they liquidate all the longs.
The scam like wicks.
That's Wintermute, yeah. And so yeah, there was BlackRock.
And then if you're long,
here we
you
go.
get wrecked.
Yeah.
This is BlackRock dumping 300 BTC clips
And then buy it
and
back up.
10,000 ETH clips all the way. Like this is like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of BTC and ETH. These are the institutions. So yeah, this idea, this narrative or meme, if you will, of institutions coming to buy our bags, like they also dump hard as well.
Yeah. It's just a hopium. Yeah. It's just like a hopium talk because they know how much they can move the markets. And to them, that's not much money really to be moving a huge market to then be able to buy back in. So it's better for them to do some trading over doing it on the stock market or whatever, isn't it? So
yeah, and they make more money from liquidations, I'm pretty sure. Like you know, Binance and these guys, that's their business model.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So when we're watching the price, you've got to take into account that this price is artificial and that it's been moved by market makers really to liquidate people. It's not necessarily to like a natural organic market. So there's a couple of clips here. One was really interesting because you know how there's this Bitmine ETH treasury company and everyone's sort of saying, well, they're buying all of this ETH. It depends on whether they can get access to OTC markets, because if there's OTC available, then it won't move the price at all. But then sometimes the OTC funds run out, and then they have to buy a spot, or they're setting up V3 positions. They're buying off the sellers, or there's a couple of other ways. But I'll show you this clip.
Keep in mind a couple of things because I can't tell you too much about the operations. We're not moving the price of ETH. I can assure you.
No, but the announcement of you being involved got other people to buy ETH.
But I'm just saying like in a practical sense, because when we're actually in the market, I don't think we've ever done an outbid.
Okay.
So I can't explain what we're doing.
You're cleaning up sellers? People that are selling,
I have to be very, I can't tell you how we're buying but we're buying, ETH tokens, but we're not, we
got it.
Yeah.
We got
We're doing
it.
fraudulent crap.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
So there was a video I think Jexa sent me a few weeks ago, and it was talking about gold because they were talking about gold-backed treasuries. But I thought it's actually an interesting analogy if you sort of think about how they do it with gold and how they suppress the gold price. It's actually, I think, very similar to how they do it. They've realized that they can do it with crypto. So you can kind of interchange what he's saying here with gold with crypto. So let me just see. I think it's
secretly buying gold. Why not buy more of it then?
Well, I think they probably are. Again, through proxy banks.
You can print as much dollars as you like.
Yeah, they probably are.
Why not? Wouldn't we see that reflected in the price
not
of
if
gold?
It's not well, maybe not. Not if it's bought on other exchanges. See, the way that the West has been doing it forever is by suppressing the paper price. But China caught on, and what I think China is doing is joining in on suppressing gold and silver on the COMEX, which suppresses the price, and then they go all around the world and they buy it up from places that do not reflect an increase in the price. They buy it from the miners directly. They buy it from other exchanges that don't have an effect on the price. The price is set in the West, And if they drive the paper price down with futures contracts, which we see all the time, they can then go buy the real thing at subsidized prices immediately around the globe, and it doesn't change the price.
Yeah,
Isn't that
good way
interesting? So he's talking about gold, and he's saying that you can buy it direct from the miners. But it's the same with like Bitcoin miners, right? Like maybe the BlackRock can just go and do OTC trades with the actual Bitcoin mining pools,
for sure.
and then they short, like they do a short, they liquidate, like move the price, sell some, move the whole, or get market makers to move the price, and then that creates like a panic of sells and liquidations, and then they scoop it all up. Then they buy the sellers.
No, that's it.
I'm like, these guys
raking in as many tokens per unit, right? Like units of these currencies in such a fashion that when they buy, it doesn't pump, and then they buy even more, and then it's just like
so they actually can create liquidation cascades and then scoop up those sellers. And when they're buying like massive quantities, they're doing it OTC, or they're scooping up the sellers. So they're not actually pushing the price up. So this narrative of like, oh, we've got institutional investors and nation state and all this sort of stuff, it's like, I'm not sure that they're actually pushing the price up as much as you think they are. It's only when the OTC desks run dry that they accidentally push the price up against themselves.
That's right. And they'd know where that limit is as well. They'd know, they've got plenty of people working on this, so they know exactly where to put it to before it starts moving. So
yeah. But so the only bullish thing you can take away from that is that why are these institutions accumulating so much and doing it in, I would say, a slightly sort of unscrupulous fashion? It's because they are trying to just accumulate the total amount, because they actually believe in the long term. They want
the biggest slice of the pie.
Yeah. And they don't want to push the price against themselves, which is fair enough. But it's like, if they're bullish, then shouldn't you be bullish? Like, shouldn't you be trying to like front run these institutions?
Yeah.
I mean, you may not be seeing the price action on the chart because they've gotten really good at this.
Very good. I've seen research papers of how in, I think, bonds, or not bonds, stonks, I don't know, but like they would look at liquidity, like order books and stuff like that, and they would perform analysis on how they can extract as much money from the retail investors by doing nothing but buying and selling, right? Because that's the levers they have in a market like that. And they have like algorithms, calculations. They have ways of like just taking as much of these single players who just sit there and are trading or doing things like that, and they all get shaken out. That's by design. And it's all set up like a free market system, so you can participate in losing your money trading.
Whereas the best thing really is just to diamond hand it, like long term.
Diamond hand, and you want to diamond hand like a good token from early on.
Sure. Yeah. But there's a trade-off, right? Because you go, okay, well, Bitcoin, you just want to hold Bitcoin long term. That's great. But yeah, you might, at this point in the cycle, you might
do sell.
But
what
I'm saying is the ROI, because this is what gets everyone. Everyone knows that they should just hold Bitcoin, right? But then they go, hang on, even if it goes to 180K, that's like a 50% or something on my money.
You need to know your cost basis.
Retire me. Yeah, so then they, and then it's the same as even Ethereum. Like if it goes to 10K, you get a 2x, okay, but or XRP, but what's the ROI on PulseChain? Something that's been gate kept, undervalued, oversold.
And the closed doors can only open.
Exactly. So I feel like that's why we're
maybe
here.
It's just one big accumulation phase we're going through. But I think we're coming out of that for a while. Not for like super long, but I think now is like you're almost too late to buy. Almost.
Well,
Do you
HEX
think?
is under a cent, under a penny.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah,
you can
that's
get
great
HEX
price.
under a cent. Like that's
You can
like
still get some great prices.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because I was thinking about it this morning. Quite the opposite. I was thinking, wouldn't it be great just coming into the market now rather than sitting through anything in the past few years?
oh
You are
It's
blessed.
it's actually a perfect time to be getting in, unless maybe you're buying Bitcoin. But on alts and things like that, even ETH, I think that's still going to do quite well. But yeah, not a bad time to be jumping in, I reckon.
Yes.
I mean, a million HEX for 10 grand. I mean, that at a cent, like that's always been, you know, a benchmark that I think that's pretty amazing if you can.
Yeah, that's a
and
big
then-
mark.
but- yeah, and then so it is getting away from people, even though it looks like it's going down in the short term. HEX was down as low as 0.004. Yeah, I mean, not that long ago. So it's sort of, you can only get half as much HEX now that you could have back in July. So, and these wicks are getting bought up. So
Yeah.
you can't wait forever. You know, you don't get heaps of opportunities to buy these. And look at this wick, like it went down to this long-term support. Like this is a line I've drawn from ages back.
I know, it was a
Wick
juicy
down
week.
to it, bought straight back up.
Yep.
Sold down again, straight back up. So people know that maybe that around this 007 price is a nice juicy price. I'm not sure that it's going to keep going down. It depends on, I guess, what happens with the marketing stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously the devices I think have landed and they're being shipped and sort of sent out, I think, like imminently, like today.
Yeah.
So there's like 1 million
Who's got
devices or something that's being shipped
Who's
out.
got 'em?
By this,
Anyone got
you know,
one?
by a picture that's been circulating, there's a warehouse looking quite full with boxes that have obviously been unloaded from a container. So yeah, and
Yeah,
and
I
they
think
said-
I saw Johnny Chaos.
Yep.
Johnny Chaos had posted something.
yeah.
But I think he's turned his account off again.
Yeah, he
So
goes MIA a little bit, doesn't he?
He was probably getting a lot of DMs about it.
Yeah.
But I think this is the one. This was Trevor Say stuff.
Yep.
He's got it there. So there's obviously, I mean, this is just presumably one shipment, but there's a lot of devices in those boxes, and then this is the marketing campaign that's happening at the moment.
Yep.
And there's other campaigns as well. This is Super HEX. So if you go to @SuperHexWin on Twitter, but also on Instagram, and I think this is on TikTok. So he's got analytics here, over 1 million views. So he's talking about PulseChain.
Yep.
And this is on TikTok, over 1 million views, nearly 40% watched the full video.
Yeah, that's insane. That's really good. Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy, really, when you're thinking about the sort of TikTok, attention span.
Exactly.
To go the full video, that's 400,000 people, right? So 400,000 people know about PulseChain just from this one video. So yeah, that's Super HEX. So shout out to him doing the hard yards.
He's been consistent too. There's, I always give it up for those people that are sitting there. They're always managing to keep going. It's bloody awesome. Good on him.
He's got the TikTok voice down. That's the funny thing as well.
Yeah.
Like not that I watch a lot of TikTok, but he just got. I've done the thing before, but it's so funny. Hey guys, did you realize that this coin PLS has just gone up 50%? Have you heard about this thing? And it's like he's playing that sort of that dumb sort of TikTok,
it's vapid
speaks
to the the internals of your brain rather than like the full on like
Yeah.
He's
That's
got it.
you know what I
He's
mean?
a
Like
smart guy.
it's like speaks to the reptilian mind.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's a smart guy, but you can tell he's putting on that voice because he knows that that's how you do it.
Yeah.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about was, with the stable coins sort of, I don't want to say super cycle because I think that's a bullshit word, but with the stablecoin narrative that's been going on, there is a lot of potential for stablecoin backed US treasuries, and then the potential of that and how that sort of distributes the debt around the globe could have, pretty amazing sort of precedent, really. So there was one interesting clip here. Oh, so this was actually talking about gold-backed treasuries. I didn't realize, but apparently on the books, they price gold, they value it at $42 an ounce on the books since 1973. So for some reason, when they do the assets and all the stuff with the US government, they've priced gold at $42. So they can actually reprice it to market price, and they can do gold-backed treasuries, and like the amount of dollars that they can borrow from that would be tremendous. So for some reason I didn't realize, but they haven't changed.
So they evaluated their own stock of gold at a cheaper price than it should be.
Yes. Since 1973, the price of gold on the books is $42 an ounce.
So it's like they're hiding money, but like
there must be some reason why they've. I know it's weird that they haven't done it.
Have to pay CGT on the unrealized gains,
right? Right? Can I do that?
We'll just change our charts. So when HEX
my
goes
HEX
up,
is like sub 0.00000 for all you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I lost all my HEX anyway on a boating accident.
Yeah, in a boating accident. I lost it.
It's a shame.
A tragedy. Tragedy of the ages.
This, because let me just play the script now instead of explaining it.
That's just crazy that almost $1 trillion is nothing.
But I guess my point is, would you want to revalue the gold at a much higher rate? Because at the market price, it's not making a dent.
You would have to. And James Rickards talks about $24,000, and the way he does it is dividing the money supply, I think M2, into the amount of gold that we supposedly have, which hasn't been audited since '53. And at $24,000, let's put it this way, every $4,000 increase in the price of gold gives the Treasury General Account $1 trillion free and clear. And the way that works is the Treasury issues gold certificates to the Federal Reserve. And those gold certificates give claim on the fiat dollar value of the gold, not the gold itself. It belongs to the American people and to the Treasury. But they give the Treasury certificate or the gold certificates to the Fed, who then prints the money out of thin air and gives it to the Treasury. So they would get $6 trillion in that example to pay down their debt, maybe to buy more gold, whatever it is they want to do.
So the market price of gold is actually $3,400, but on the books it's $42.
What the heck?
Ounce. So if they repriced it to current market price, they couldn't. And then they back these treasuries. So they have say 10 years.
Like, hey guys, you have a whole bunch of free money that you have not accounted.
Not sure why they've done it that way. Obviously, it's in their benefit to do it this way. But
absolutely. They're doing something nefarious.
Yeah. But if they did gold-backed treasuries, then they would want to reprice it, and then they can borrow against it. You can pay out, say, 10-year treasury bonds in gold. Like that would be the incentive, because they want people to buy these bonds, and then so that they because they issue them, they print the bonds, but then they get actual dollars for it. So so that's how they create money. And then he was saying that they could reprice it to like 24,000 or something ridiculous, because he took like M2 and divided it by the amount of gold in Fort Knox. So that's just crazy. But it just shows that they do have some levers to if they wanted to try and get rid of this, $37 trillion debt.
Yep.
And then the
for a rainy day.
Other way, yeah. So I mean, normally what they would do is they would get the Federal Reserve to buy the treasuries, and then expanding the money supply, and then, but because it causes so much inflation, and there's beef, between the Fed Reserve and the Trump administration.
Yeah.
I think Trump tried to sack one of the board members on the Federal Reserve during the week.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear that?
Okay. I haven't heard this.
Yeah. And then she just said that he doesn't have the authority to do it, but I'm not sure how that played out.
Right.
Anyway, there's obviously beef there, like the whole Jerome Powell thing.
Yeah, it's like its own private entity, right? And it's like, hang on.
And so
behind it.
I mean, so they cut the interest rates, I think it was 50 basis points going into the election, with the Biden Kamala administration. So, and that was when the inflation was worse. So inflation's come down since then, and then they still haven't cut rates. So it just shows that I had that political bias.
Yeah.
But so because the Fed Reserve has got this sort of pseudo government kind of control over how much debt, because they set the interest rates, it dictates how much they have to pay back, like the premiums on this $37 trillion. So they need other avenues to sort of print money and dilute the debt.
Yeah.
But stable coins might be the go. So
yeah,
show this clip as well.
And an incredibly powerful vehicle to park U.S. Treasury bonds, right? And so for the first time ever, you're seeing a vehicle that can absorb the U.S.'s debt in a distributive manner that ultimately cannot be sold by any one given person, right? So Paolo at Tether can't all of a sudden wake up one day and negotiate with the U.S. government the same way that, let's say, China can, right? And dump all of these treasury bonds, because where Tether or Circle or any of these companies make their money is on the earned interest of the T-bills, right? They don't have the control to ultimately be able to dump them, right? So this is an unbelievably powerful thing to say we're able to all of a sudden distribute the U.S. debt globally, provide people with access to stable U.S. dollars for the first time ever globally, and protect ourselves from political leverage of having that debt being dumped on us should we not come up with certain trade deals. So I think this is the most exciting time in the world. This is not the story that's being reported, right? But it's misunderstood right now.
He's bang on the money.
It's an interesting time, right?
It's a clever move. I don't know if it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to backfire.
You're indebting the planet, right? In some sense, into a flawed financial system, you are onboarding people and pushing the responsibility of the surface area of that debt is just being spread.
Yes, 100%. That's a good way of thinking of it.
Catastrophes that shall inevitably happen to that system will then have an even broader effect. Yeah, exactly. It's probably long-term bearish, in terms of the status of the planet. Because we do have recessions, we do have wars, and we do have depressions that happen cyclically, right? It hasn't happened for a while, but it does happen. So in that sense, we would all be looking to America to be like, hey, can you fix this? It's going to be interesting. It's interesting. I'll put it that way.
These cycles are inevitable because of the way that the financial system works. And the
Ray
way
Dalio has a great bit on it. It's cyclical.
He's
right?
bearish, though. He is ultra bearish.
He is bearish. Yeah. And I can understand why. He's not in crypto.
When you understand the flawed system and you understand some of these inherent problems, like when you expand the money supply and you dilute the value of the dollars that's out there, and then you have the fractional reserve, people can borrow more money on top of that, and then at every time it's lent out with interest. So within that system, there's not enough money to ever pay back the interest that's loaned out. That once you understand that, you kind of go, oh, it's doomed to have a boom bust cycle. Like there's going to be a musical chairs aspect to this, because at some point there's not enough money in a closed system to actually repay the debt that's been issued. So I get it, people get cynical and things like that. But there is a small point in time where it's bullish and all that extra money flows and there's liquidity and it just pumps the paper price of everything, and markets go up. So you can't be like perma bearish.
No.
I think it's just like you got to take, you have to be aware that there are cycles.
You have to ride the wave intelligently.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to be
so
careful.
Look, I think it's inevitable the way that we're going with AI and the way that the internet, I guess, is consuming all these different industries. So and now AI is consuming all of these industries as well. So yeah, there's a lot of things like that where if you kind of think about it, you kind of go, is that mean there's going to be huge unemployment? Because if you were a visual, like a graphic artist or something, like you've pretty much become redundant. And even like some base level coding,
huge, a lot of coding,
research,
more than base level,
things like that.
Managerial positioning, like decision making.
And that's just at the current state of AI. Because what happens if AI becomes like 200 IQ, right? Then
it's
how many
close.
more things are going to be?
Some areas, right?
Yeah, but if you kind of extrapolate how intelligent AI is going to be inevitably, then at what point are you going to need financial advisors? Will you just ask your AI? Say again, sorry?
So I think a good way forward is through free market capitalism, right? And not Marxism, where you just hand out universal basic income. I don't think that will be conducive for human flourishing. What I think you want is you want to hand out shares of like OpenAI, all these guys, and what you want is some sort of like dividend or
you tokenize. I do. I know exactly. You token, and that's why the blockchain stuff comes into it, because it was an example when I saw a guy talking about if he's creating Uber today, because the Uber, you always get the Uber drivers have a cry about how they're not making enough money from Uber or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's like,
and they're like, you're a contractor, you're not even an employee.
Yeah.
Right?
So, but the thing is that if they had set up the Uber business model where you could like tokenize or fractionalize maybe ownership of the Uber company through the drivers, and they were getting paid some dividend on, then they would be more, I think, encouraged. But the only way to do that really
incentivized, they would have skin in the game. They would go over and above to deliver service, you would imagine.
Yeah.
So,
and then as Uber grows, then the drivers benefit.
Absolutely. And then,
so you just got to think about how you can tokenize an industry and then fractionalize that a share of that company, give it back to the workers so that they're sufficiently incentivized to improve that.
It worked for NVIDIA. If you worked for NVIDIA, that worked very well for you because a lot of them did get stocks.
Yeah,
so it works.
Yeah, that's basically it. But I think you can do it. I think inevitably it'll be like all of stock market will be tokenized. It'll be on the blockchain.
That, in some sense, was the original idea behind superannuation as well, right? You would have the individual workers, the working class, the everyday person who, as an aggregate, would hold a lot of the market, right? That's the idea. They hate it now because they don't want you owning assets. They want you to be living paycheck to paycheck or on welfare, right? Because then you vote for them. But
well, that worked. It works well for baby boomers. The problem is there's barriers to entry when it comes to stock market. Like minimum $5,000
minimum
shares.
buys can be as high as 10 grand.
Yeah, and you have to go through certain exchanges, and then you don't even really hold those shares. Like you get
and they can be like stolen, like not stolen, but you say the wrong thing about the exchange, they can freeze them. You can do all sorts.
Yeah. It's not self-custodial like with crypto where you hold your own keys and
that's right.
And there's no KYC.
I wonder if there's an innate value to being able to hold your own keys, right? There's some sort of priced inness or future.
Also, it's like network effects. So say for example, if you could only buy Tesla shares through the New York Stock Exchange, and then you have to be an accredited investor to be able to do that, and you need to do KYC, and then there's a minimum barrier of entry to buy those things. Well, if you tokenize the whole stock market, then some guy in Africa can buy Tesla shares on the blockchain, you know what I mean, with no KYC, just through some DEX, and then it's like why shouldn't he have access to one of the highest, or to buy Nvidia stock?
I wonder if you could do that today, right? I wonder if I could make a company, which I could do, and then somehow tie the shares, right? The corporate shares of said company directly somehow with
you can
an
back
on-chain asset. You could back it.
Yeah. I think you could.
But would they allow that? I think they would scrutinize you so heavily today in Australia. If you tried to do that, you would run into issues like in terms of regulatory bodies and things.
Yeah, today, but I think that is changing. We have a new guest here.
Hey.
What is up, old mate Dexter? What is up, bro? How you going?
I am a guest these days, aren't I? I don't come here often enough to be a regular.
That's right. You used to be just a part of the furniture, but it's been a while. But good to see you, bro. How you going?
Yeah, going all right.
Can you hear me okay?
This is probably the first time in about 8 months I've had a chance to. Yeah, I think hang on. I've got a lot of lag. Just give me a sec.
No worries. I mean, I probably should have mentioned earlier that you have just launched the vouch token during the week, and so this is the vouch.run. So the liquid staking, I guess, like liquid staking validators is maybe a way to think about it. So pooling of validators. So I mean,
you guys can hear me okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Cool. Good.
Maybe you can explain it a bit better. But I was just saying that, if people, so what's the minimum requirement to be a validator? Is it 32 million Pulse?
Yeah, 32 million Pulse, which, geez, I don't know what that is in today's dollars. What's that? Circa $1,000 or something? I don't know. Not sure.
Yeah. But you've got
so when we
staking.
Sorry, my internet's shit, guys. Sorry.
That's okay, man. Mine seems to be glitching as well. Like it's like right at this time as well. So it might be both of us. But I'll let you go, man. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you've been watching this channel, you've probably seen me pop up here from time to time and talk about Vouch. So we had a pretty big day on, when was it? Tuesday this week, where we moved from being just liquid staking, which I'll have a chat about in a minute, but we moved from being a liquid staking protocol to more of an ecosystem. So that meant we introduced a second token. And along with that token, we can generate another form of revenue for the ecosystem. So I've spent many, many months planning how we can piece together an ecosystem that is not extractive. And so it's like a closed loop in some of the things we can do where we recirculate funds within the system, but it's not just a Rube Goldberg type thing where it's just circulating funds for the sake of it. When we circulate them, we put them into something that actually does work, which is the validators. So, yeah, and I've got a little graphic I can go through later on if you want. This might sort of explain that if for the people that are more visual learners.
I think that would be good because
that'd be good.
I think people kind of understand the idea of like liquid staking in a sense that if you're getting this, is it the VPulse token? So once you stake, then you still can trade the VPulse, which is backed by Pulse. So even though you're staked and you're earning yield,
very slowly, slowly. The discrepancy, right?
So you can think of it like PulseX, where the value of the protocol is getting trapped in the PulseX token, like through buy and burns. So this is a little bit different where we set the ratio between Pulse and VPulse, and as more work's done by the validators, the value of VPulse ratchets up slowly against Pulse. So it's effectively you're getting your interest payment, but in the value of the token, not so much as extra coins hitting your wallet. So yeah,
it's a very clever design. I like it.
Yeah, and that's not new to what we've done.
No, it's not.
Everywhere. That's Lido, that's Rocket Pool, that's everyone that's doing that. Liquid staking's everywhere.
There you go. See? Up and to the right.
Yeah, so that's a good chart because that's the price, but not in US dollars. That's the price relative to Pulse.
In Pulse.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's basically around that 1-to-1 mark where you've staked your Pulse.
It over time just deviates stronger and stronger in a good way.
So we started at 1-to-1 and we only go up from there. So
if you change the scales, you realize the deviations are very minor here.
Yeah.
So we're talking.
So there's a lot of good things that come from that. So you can do liquidity providing on between Pulse and VPulse, get fees, but you don't suffer impermanent loss because they don't move away from each other too much. Jump on dashboard there, mate. That's where all the new stuff is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look at that. Clean.
That is very specky.
Yeah.
So now you can buy this vouch. And so is the idea with vouch, I mean, maybe you can explain it a bit better.
Yeah,
so is it the yield? Yeah, I'll do the graphic, man. So that way we can just, because it's been a while since I looked at it. That's another thing.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting. There's a lot of people that are in the Telegram group that have participated in vouch and been in it since the beginning, but they actually still don't understand what we've just built. So it's a bit of a learning thing along the way, which has been nice. It's good to watch people find something out and go, oh shit, it does this as well. So that's been really good. So I'm enjoying teaching people about what we've actually built. Let me just see if I can get an image up here. That would be this one. Let's put this in Prezzo mode. Cool. All right, I'll share this screen. This will be a good one.
Okay. Yeah, I've been neglecting the chat a little bit. Apologies. There was something here earlier. Cal was saying, where did the OTC get them from? Because we were talking about that. And Jerry, this is what Adam Stokes needs to talk about more. He tends to leave out how institutions are actually buying the Bitcoin. Yeah, so because I was talking about OTC, cleaning the sellers. Yeah, it's important for people to understand that and how the prices get manipulated. Clintrons, what's up? Good evening to you, sir.
Probably means we're going to see a lot more paper trading of Bitcoin, I would imagine.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
indeed.
pretty much what happens. And that's the dodgy thing. That's why you got to be careful on these exchanges, because they can't necessarily always pay you out, because they're taking your user funds and then they're dumping them and doing all sorts of things to liquidate longs. But it's got to be careful with exchanges, because you can't see behind the curtain about what's actually going on. But they can see all the order book, and
they see it all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Max, good point. Get Tam Tam on. Yeah, she's bullish, and I should see if she'd probably go on the ladies thing before she would come on our one, because our time zones are pretty out of whack.
Yeah.
We can come back to this. Have you got your presentation thing?
Yeah, it should be there. True Blue, you want to bring that one?
Oh, it's down the bottom.
Whoever's driving the show.
Dozza can hit that.
Yeah, it's me, bro. I just needed to scroll down. How do I?
Yeah.
So,
right.
Do I need to play it or anything, or is
no?
Is
I'll give you a bit of a run through.
Okay, thank you.
So this liquid staking thing, this has been vouched for the last 10 months, 9 months, since October last year was when we launched. And the way that worked was, you were sitting out here with your little Rabby wallet or Internet Money wallet or whatever you've got, and you'd send Pulse in here and you would receive vPulse. So that's the liquid staking component. You stake your Pulse and instantly you get a liquid token sitting in your wallet, and you can go do whatever degen stuff you would normally do in DeFi with that token. But if you hold it, what actually happens is that all the Pulse that's put in here, we've got a bunch of validators sitting in the system, some run by the ecosystem, some just anyone can basically become and be a validator on Vouch. So we've got a whole group of people that are doing that. They put your Pulse to work by staking on PulseChain. And then essentially every 5 minutes, they're getting rewards from PulseChain. So as it mints the new Pulse to pay the validators for securing the network, that Pulse flows back up into here. And it does two things when it's in here. If that Pulse just is left in the ecosystem, it's basically auto compounding for you, because then we can pick it up and put it into more validators. So as that Pulse hits our system, we see it growing, and then we can pick it up and put it to work. If you wanted to extract some out, then you'd have to sell back or unstake a tiny bit of your vPulse to get that feed out. But that's essentially what we've been running for the last 10 months or so.
Flawless operation.
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, we've had a pretty good run. What we've just introduced with the ecosystem is primarily the main thing we wanted to do was get the Vouch token out there. And so it's not active yet, but what's built into the Vouch token is all the voting mechanisms you need for a DAO. So in the future, that token can actually be the governance token for the platform. But a lot of the way governance tokens have worked before, so like with Uniswap and a few others, Uniswap wasn't too bad. They've done a big mint and they haven't continued to mint. But what a lot of other platforms do is they just keep continually minting their governance token.
Right.
We've done it a bit different. Whatever exists now is all that's ever going to exist, and it's actually highly deflationary. We've burnt 1% of the supply in the last 3 or 4 days.
Awesome. Okay, that makes a big difference, because sometimes with these governance tokens, it's like, if they're inflationary and they just keep getting printed, it's not as good.
There's no innate containment of value, right? It's always losing. No. It's like a bucket with a hole in it.
Exactly. So I always say, when you look at most ecosystems, they've got a sink, and that's where the value eventually sinks away to. So I was very wary of that when I was building this. I didn't want to build something like that. So I put a lot of thought into how you actually do all your feedback loops, so that you're not just, it's like the incentive token. It keeps getting minted and it'll just keep getting dumped, and it'll have value, but it's always going to be this unknowable thing. Whereas this one, we've capped it. We know that
so with ink, you're getting for every block, it's printing more ink. Whereas you're saying you've got the scarcity model where it's a fixed supply and then it's burning it. So there's less, so it's deflationary over time.
Yeah. So what what happens, so with the introduction of the vouch token, we wanted to be able to, I'll take a step back. So I've already mentioned that we get Pulse from the validating side. So that's a form of revenue for the system. So I'll call that the validator revenue. Now, the vouch token, it is a fee token. So I'm coming up with a new term. I think tax token is okay, but it doesn't represent what this does in the ecosystem. So I'm calling it a revenue token because that's effectively what it does, is it generates revenue for the system. So as buyers come in, they pay 5%. As sellers go out, they pay 5%. But it's important what you do with that revenue, and that revenue actually gets chucked back into what we call a VAR distributor. So it's a bunch of contracts. This is there's one primary contract that handles all the flows within the system and pays out things like that. So,
is that your mic? Sorry, man. It sounds like there's a whale
there's
on the
I can hear something. I don't know if it's mine or...
Is it me? Hang on. I got a coffee thing.
No, I think it was where your mic was, Jexa. I think, yeah.
Was it?
It's gone. Yeah.
Cool.
It was just the boom was like slowly moving and it sounded like a whale.
Whale noises.
I don't know if it's me or not.
Or maybe
it could have been me. I had something wobbling on the table. I've taken it off.
Could be. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry to distract you.
Yeah, so all these two revenue streams hit the distributor, and then we can carve it up in a few different ways, and we can have a look at the dashboard in a minute and I'll show you how. But effectively what we can do is take some of those funds and send them over to this side of the ecosystem and put it to work and generate more revenue, which then feeds more revenue back in here, and we can keep circulating this around, generating more and more revenue. While that's important is as we push revenue into here, not only can we add it to validators, but we can distribute out either vouch, vPulse, or Pulse to holders and other participants in the ecosystem. So at the moment, everyone that holds vouch is, so as revenue comes in here, we buy vouch off the market and we spit it out to these guys as a bit of a distribution. So we're not minting it out of thin air, we're buying it off the market and sending it out to everyone. Yep.
Cool.
We can burn vouch and vPulse, and we're burning vouch at a clip of 24% of the revenue coming into here is burning vouch at the moment. That's quite a heavy burn rate. So what we did do is on day one, when vouch token launched, obviously a lot of trading activity, a lot of volume going through. The more volume, the more revenue gets generated by here and comes back into this part of the equation. So you can see they're all self-reinforcing loops. Now, and you could say, oh, that's just a Rube Goldberg flinging things around within the ecosystem. But there's two things that are a bit different. One is this pulse here is freshly generated. So that's not another buy coming in. That's just fresh generated pulse getting tipped into the ecosystem. The other cool thing is because we've got buy and sells on the vouch token. I mean, you've probably seen a few other protocols on Pulse use this mechanism where they set up a liquidity web, and as our bots are coming in and finding inefficiencies in the market, it generates revenue. So that's what we've done. So that's why
it's a very clever design.
Yeah, that's why I use that model. I thought, cool, I'm gonna let's put that to work. It seems to be working for other protocols. I think we can do something cool with it. So yeah, we've set up a few liquidity pools, and we'll let the bots do their things and arb that out, and over time that will grow more and more. But yeah, that's sort of the essence of what we've done. What I haven't explained in all of this is I've said anyone can come and be a validator in Pulse on Vouch, and that's true. But with this ecosystem launch, we've introduced a concept called community validators. So a portion of the funds that are coming into this distributor go out to something called a master validator account. And what that account is designed to do is just grab a portion of Pulse and go fire up validators that will be owned by the ecosystem. So over time, this is going to keep growing and growing. And then come the bear market, people are going to, other validators are going to drop out of their validators. They're going to sell their tokens. This is owned by the protocol. It doesn't need to sell any tokens. It's going to sit there and hold them. As validators exit, more yield's going to go to our validators, and it'll just keep collecting the fees, keep building more validators, just recycling around, building more validators, just more money printers, spitting out buy and burns to these guys. It's just going to keep cranking through.
Cranking.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's quite clever, man. I really like it.
Yeah, so we're early days, and we're not in a hurry. We don't. It's not a meme coin. We don't need to see 15,000x on day one and wipe everyone out. We've done a nice, smooth, controlled launch, and we'll just let it do its thing now.
These tokens are good to hold too, because you see the overall supply, right, as it gets burned. It's just, it's good. It's a good situation.
As more supply gets burned, more dividends going out to these guys, you'll get more. Like, there's less to be shared around.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
And you're securing the network as well, because you're encouraging.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're actually doing
validators.
Well, that's why you get this fresh pulse, is because you're actually doing real world work. You've got to get rewarded for it. There's costs. There's fees for hardware, and there's time for software and things like that. You got to manage and maintain all that.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah. So if you hang on, I'll see if I can bring up another page. Just give me a sec. I'll close this share down and I'll bring up something else.
That's cool. I was going to say, I mean, because if you actually look at the validators for PulseChain, it's pretty crazy. I mean, a lot of it is.
That's not the best place to view validators on PulseChain either.
Oh, really? Okay.
Nah, go to I think it's is it Pulse Coin List? I think they've got a good one, or Pulsefolio.
Pulse Coin List. Yeah, Pulse Coin List is pretty good. So
under stats, they got something for validators, or what's under ecosystem? Up the top there, you got ecosystem.
Oh yeah.
Hang on, must be a different one.
Sometimes it's down the bottom.
No, there's someone that's got a really good one for validators. I should know this one a lot more. Tools.
Maybe it's Frank White.
Go to Pulsefolio.
Oh, it is Pulsefolio.
Hang on, is it? No, maybe.
There's so many websites.
Yeah, there was one of them that had a really good one for.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Let me just look at the
this is what you
PLS
need.
start.
That's where you need to go.
This is our man Frank White, isn't it? Bang bang.
Yeah.
PulseChain gang. What is up, Frank? He loves Vouch. There you go. Oh, PLS charts, he's saying.
That could be it.
PLS charts. For some reason, I have this because I was looking at leagues, but maybe if I go to validators. Top 20 validators ranked. Okay. And so this is saying there's 52,000 active validators, 93,000 of all historic validators. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Top 20 validators ranked. So, oh, wow. So Vouch has got, is it 3,780 validators?
Yep.
And there's over $5 million staked. Damn.
That's epic. Look out.
So yeah, we haven't turned on the boosters yet. So let's see how we go.
Hey, there we go. The boosters. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, so I've brought up another share there if you like.
Sure.
So I spoke about how we can carve up the revenue streams. So if you look at this, what we're seeing here is we've got the revenue generated by the token side, and we've got revenue generated by the validator side.
Okay.
So these are those two revenue streams that I spoke about. So like I said, we've got a pretty high burn rate going at the moment. So we've burnt 1% of the supply. That'll keep doing its thing. But those two revenue streams there, so they get combined and they drop down into that center box that I showed you on the previous slide. So the distribution contract. And that distribution contract then goes and carves it up into all these different buckets. Now, I guess the two main ones that I think are of most interest are the master validator one. So that's the one where we're going to fire up more community validators. So we want to go pretty heavy on that in terms of getting that distribution, because that's your money printers. The more of those we fire up, more money we make into the system. And the other thing we're doing at the moment is this rewards pool. So I said we can send it to the validators, or we can send it out to participants in the system. And that's how we do it with the rewards pool. So we can send out vouch rewards, VPLS rewards, or Pulse rewards. And at the moment, we've gone heavy on the vouch rewards pool and not even worrying about the other two. So what we're actually doing, when you take this 30%, it drops down into here. So it's got 30% of the revenue coming into the system, 24% of the total revenue going to buy and burn, 6% going to the holders of vouch. So that's our distributions that we've done over the last few days to vouch holders. We only switched this on, I think it was 24 hours ago, maybe a bit more, 36 hours ago. And we'll enable a few other things as we get going. But essentially, yeah, as the rewards crew up, this will hit 100%. Then it'll just divvy it all out to all of these people out here, and hits their wallet every so often. We can do the same with all these other tokens as well. But I don't think we'll even use the Pulse one, because there's some pretty cool things we can do if we just play with Vouch and VPulse. So we can effectively reward people with VPulse, so they get given a yield-bearing token as a reward. But what's really cool is that then means that we're still growing our system. So all those funds are still staying in the Vouch ecosystem and can get put to work as validators, rather than just giving them Pulse, which sort of leaves our system then. So yeah, if we're probably going to focus more on these two pools here and keeping people incentivized with those. But yeah, that's Vouch in a nutshell.
So who would be getting the VPulse rewards? Just the VPulse, like the stakers of that, or is that going to go over?
No. Yep. So this stuff here, all of these rewards pools, they go to either vouch holders,
right? Yep.
Vouch stakers. Now this is not even active. That's for phase 3.
Yep.
This will be phase 3 as well. Phase 3 as well. So these aren't even active at the moment. Oh, they work, but we're not using them.
Yeah.
And the burn. So that's where that reward pool go to. So same with this one, we can send out the VPulse token, but to vouch holders, vouch stakers, and so forth. So it's the same buckets, awesome. Just that's different token. Yeah.
Very nice.
The way we reward the stakers of the actual liquid staking protocol is we just dump funds into this here, the fee pool.
Yep.
So that's So everyone gets rewarded and incentivized, and it's a nice happy ecosystem.
Very much so, especially since the vouch token, as you said, is deflationary. It's like it's almost a no-brainer if you're looking to get into something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it has utility, it has buy and burns, it has the scarcity sort of. So the tokenomics are certainly there, yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I looked at is what are the two critical things is where's your buy pressure going to come from, and how do you stop your sell pressure? So we've tried to mitigate that as much as we can. I think we've done a reasonable job. So, yeah.
For sure, man. Yeah, congratulations on the launch.
Yeah, thanks for that.
It seems to be very successful, and amazing that you've got like a robust kind of system set up, which is not only, lucrative for people that are staking and things like that, or participating in these tokens, but also you're helping the robustness of the network. Like you're actually encouraging validators and increasing that decentralization of the whole PulseChain. network.
Yeah, and we've seen got lots of cool people that are in the community and helping out with the validators and things like that. So yeah, good to see. And it's good to see other protocols up there as well. With you just showed Validator X, they're doing their thing as well. So yeah, good to see that we've got a healthy ecosystem. You don't want just one of these protocols having too much say in the network. So that's actually good to have a couple of players out there doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of these, a lot of these actual hardware, like David Feeder does a lot of the actual hardware validators. It's not all cloud services, which I think is important as well.
Yeah, that's right. And he's actually running some validators as part of Vouch as well. So
I want to get into it. No, and I want to buy I think I've got good enough hardware, but I haven't configured it or set it up yet. But I just need data. I need data off the chain quicker than the API can give to me, right? Or not quicker, but like, so it would benefit me.
Definitely,
I mean, if you
have your own node.
Yeah, if you're going to be running, nodes that you're pulling data from, they're way more powerful than what a validator needs. So yeah, if you've got all that running, you might as well be running your validators as well. It's only a little bit of extra software.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, thanks for that, Jackson, man. Like, I think a lot of people are interested in that, and people I have seen people ask about it, and so yeah, good to keep us up to date. It's just so happens that we have good access to you because you're sort of always floating around. But yeah, you actually have built something amazing. So congratulations.
Yeah, it's been. I'm not going to lie, it's taken a lot of my time, but it has been quite rewarding. Yeah.
It's probably why we haven't seen you on the happy hour, because you've actually been doing like
exactly,
just standing around talking.
Good time to be doing it. Yeah,
I was saying this the other day. We were having a private Zoom call with a few guys, and if you're just on X, you probably see all the shit slinging and everything that goes on X, but what you don't realize is the people that are quiet in the background and doing a lot of building and things like that. We all actually work together. I can't shout out enough to all the guys that have helped along the way that you wouldn't even know about, but they're doing things in the background. Some of the sites that we've just pulled up had direct interactions with their team, and they go out and do things specifically for us, which is it's awesome to see. So there's a lot of actually good. There's a lot of good communication in the background, and a lot of good things happening by all the builders. We all know each other or are not too far away from 1 or 2 degrees of separation from knowing each other. So it's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. The 7 steps to Kevin Bacon. You're right. You can always get back.
There's less steps to PulseChain, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
That's good.
No, it's pretty cool. And I mean, Frank White, I think, he like I say, he's got that what is it? PLS.
The big list.
Start PLSstart.me. Yeah, PLSstart.me. So I'll put that in the chat as well. That is.
He'd probably be across more projects in Pulse than anyone else, because he's always updating.
I don't know how I've been in the dark with that one, but I've just pulled that up since you guys showed it, and man, that's a list and a half. We need that. That's now at the top of my bookmarks, because I go to look up stuff and I spend
replace a lot of bookmarks with that.
Yeah, I spend 20 minutes trying to remember the link for it.
Every day it happens to me. Every day, there's that website that shows. Yeah.
My only gripe with this, right, is that it's actually PLStart.me.
Yeah.
Actually, Frank, here's a bit of feedback for you, man. That name, I struggle with it too.
Because there's almost like you want to put in 2 S's, PLS start, but it's not. It's PLStart.me or PLS tart. I mean, we've got so many. What's the Token Express one? Was like
Token SEX. Yeah.
What's that one? I don't even know that one.
Link or something, maybe.
The bridge. It's
tokens
express. So it's tokensex.link.
Yeah.
Fits right in there with like PulseX.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I'm sure that's intentional to have tokensex.link.
Each to their own.
But so yeah, you can just think of it as plstart.me if you prefer.
If you can remember that, then you can find the list of all the other ones you've forgotten. Yeah, that's exactly right.
But no, this is really good. The way
that one is when I open a new tab, that's what comes up. So
nice.
Oh, wow.
No, it's clever.
Very good.
It's a lot of work too. It's a lot of work to keep them updated and fresh, and it's good.
I pronounce it Pulse Tart, one word. Pulse Tart or Pulse Start? Anyway,
before we move on to that,
pedantic.
Yeah, sorry. I was just going to say, people that wanted to get the vouch token, what do you still think Pulse Swap is the best place for that? Because that automatically adds in the slippage and that, doesn't it?
Yeah, actually, I'll share it again because it's worth showing you guys that. That these guys have done a really good job and they helped us out. So I want to give them a bit of props. Where are we? That one.
It must be. Is this it here? Does the token address finish in 314F?
That's the one.
The contract address?
Yeah.
That's
okay, cool.
good. So
that launched. Yeah, this is the day. This is only launched like 4 or 5 days ago.
Yep.
So yeah.
It has only been up in its history.
Well, that's not true. There's a bit of a wick there.
Well,
really zoom in.
It does look nicer on the daily when you do it that way. That's for sure.
Look, I think what happens is you get any launch, you're going to get snipers that just automatically snipe some launches, but then they dump. So that's great. So once they're out,
we really did try and control that. I reckon we've done a pretty good job at not having like crazy ass wicks. Like you see some charts get painted, and even when they put the liquidity in there, they don't know how to add the liquidity correctly.
Ridiculously up and then way down. Like
that's about how you price your token initially when you put it in and all that as well. Like you can
liquidity.
You can put whatever price you want in, but the market's going to reprice it straight away. So just quickly, so when you click on the buy button for vouch, it jumps. We have it jumping straight out to PulseSwap.io, and the reason why we do is they've put in this feature here. So we communicated with them and said, well, this is how our protocol works, and then they've set this up so that when you come here, you don't have to think about, okay, this is a fee token. How do we how do we manage that? So it will go and find you the best route and actually add all that in, and then you've just got to deal with like your normal slippage. That's cool. So that so you can still add all that. The revenue fee. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Some dexes do have a little trouble with the fee.
Yeah, and Teus at the moment doesn't handle tax tokens at all.
No.
Yeah, I noticed that. You got to set the slippage really high.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Even then, it doesn't even work.
I don't even know if I've got it to go through on that. As much as I like Teus,
the reason why the chart looks as good as it is, right? Because sniper tokens get penalized. Like they kind of even just steer away from stuff like this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's all of it, but
yeah.
I've devised mechanisms how you take advantage of sniper bots, and I've never played it out, but like a rolling off tax, like a massive tax up front, and then it rolls off over time.
Yeah, you can do that. And what we found, one of the biggest things is because what they all do is they monitor things like DEX screener and stuff like that, and as soon as they see a token hit, that's when boom, they just start automatically trading it. So what we done is we launched our token 4 or 5 days before the actual proper launch. So it got put up on the DEX screener. So the pair was there. We loaded up all the liquidity, so you could see it all, but no one could actually trade it. So we had to flick a switch to make that happen. So it means that you get through that initial wave. And man, my Telegram DMs have just been going off tap since we've done that listing on DEX screener, because you just get everyone hammering you. So yeah, everyone's monitoring it.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. What is up, SPX 6900 on PulseChain? There you go, yo. And Tom Gillespie, how you going there, Tom? G'day, mate.
G'day.
How's the old G'day token going? Is it still going?
Oh,
or is it the what is it called? The oh, you know how he's got that new thing?
Yeah,
it's like Indican.
Yeah, I love that part of the documentary where we're like, "Hold, bro," and then he's punching the sell button.
Yeah, that was literally us on stream. That was in
on
that's
stream.
right, in the doco,
like,
on stream, and we were like, "Oh, the G'day token." This, and because we had warned him that the price was looking like it was about to go down, and then he played it off on the doco. And he's knocking over all these empty beer cans, and you can see him removing liquidity as soon as he sees it. But that was funny. But yeah, the Indican, I think, is the one. So but Tom, you can shill your Indican links if you want. I think we're a fan of the humor.
It is a free market.
I also missed a comment up here from my old mate Nick Eddy. How you going there, bro? Effectively referring to the Bretton Woods monetary system, the original preform. Yeah, I don't know a lot about it, but I just, for some reason, they had set the gold price at $42 or something an ounce, and that's since 1973 or something. And then so if they reprice it, then they can borrow the whole gold-backed treasury thing. Oh, Jackson knows about it. You're the one that sent me the link, bro. So
which one was that?
You sent me a link about the gold-backed treasuries.
Oh, yeah.
You might know a bit about this. Why do they price it in? Why is gold on the books at $42 an ounce?
Well, I think there's even more to the story. I thought because what they wanted everyone to do was hand in their gold. So at one point, I think it was even worse, where they said, "Oh, we'll take your gold off your hands, but it'll be like at $20 an ounce or something like that, or 27 an ounce or something like that." And then once they got it, then they marked it up, or somehow the value got increased substantially.
Scumbags.
Yeah. And and I don't know why they've managed to leave it sitting on the books at $42 and not have to revalue it.
Some reason for it.
Maybe they just didn't want to audit it, right? They didn't want to look at it and like keep it off.
Maybe like he's Nick saying that Nixon temporarily suspended the gold redeemability, so maybe it's still not.
The government never does anything temporarily.
They don't want to put the price up in case the people will start redeeming it. But also, Nick Eddy, I should mention that because he introduced me to Don Marfan, Street Buddha, the MMA fighter. We did the MMA Down Under. He won his fight last Friday night, I think it was. He won it. So that was a semi-final on the road to UFC. So he's now going to the final. So if he wins his next fight, we're going to have the first Hexagon UFC on the UFC roster, like current UFC roster Hexagon.
So good.
So we should all get behind Don Marfan and wish him best for his next fight. But man, he's a vicious fighter. He's a smart fighter. I think he's actually going to go all the way. So we might see him in the lightweight division UFC. Yeah. Hopefully, we can have some HEX or some PulseChain sort of
get a sponsorship
going on. Yeah. Well,
get a logo on the shirt or something.
There's limits on what you can do.
I know there
UFC level, But they do have advertising and stuff. But there's
there's bloody advertising everywhere all over them. They're like a walking billboard, aren't they?
Yeah, but maybe when it comes to crypto, and they might have conflicting stuff like maybe it's all sponsored by.
I don't think they care as long as the money's rolling in, mate.
That's
right. Yeah, maybe. But it's good to know like a fighter that on the UFC, like current active UFC roster. And who's a Hexagon, and we believed in him before he was famous, so I think that counts for something.
Did you?
Maybe he can do an unboxing of the electronic device as he walks onto the ring.
That's right.
When he wins, he's like Richard Hart was right.
Yeah,
that's right. Or we could. Yeah, because they were throwing those dildos onto the women's NBA.
Was that for real? Was it? I thought it was just like on
basketball. Yeah, they were bet
AI or something. No, it was real. Yeah. People were throwing dildos onto the court.
That's brutal.
They were betting on it too. So people were betting on when the next dildo would hit the court, and so people were smuggling in dildos.
Oh yeah.
To cheat the books, right?
So when we get the PulseChain dildo that's going out in the mail, and we can encourage people to throw one of those. Yeah, well, we still don't know what it is, right? So we're speculating as to what it is.
It's got to be a digital postcard, surely. I can't see it being much.
The more I think about it, the more digital is like not necessary unless you had like a little price chart or something. I don't know.
I like that idea. I like if you had an updated price chart that was like,
how like the football HEX scores that everyone has in their backyard. That's like don't they come in through radio or something? And it's just like the football changes and updates.
Yeah,
never seen that.
Haven't seen that. That's cool.
No,
you can get you can get it to update through the TV
you connect it somehow. Probably just Wi-Fi these days. You could do it, but I remember it being around for quite some
ultrasonics.
That's the thing, though, and that's why I like the idea of if it is a digital postcard and it's preloaded, because that takes away all those steps. People aren't going to connect it to their Wi-Fi. They don't want to take those extra steps. So if they open it and you like pull the plastic tab out to make the batteries work, it's there and it's on, and you're getting fed the information straight away, which we've been gatekept for so long because of those barriers. So I think even if it is just, we're saying just an electronic postcard. When I said that to my wife, she's like, oh, that's all right, but it's not that good. It's like, well, have you ever received a postcard, if it is that, with a video on it before, with someone talking to you? Like, I've never received that. So
no,
it's pretty awesome if it happens.
It's worth a Google search, you would think.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. I think if the message is right on it, and in terms of like bang for your buck, like I don't know how much something like that costs to do, but everyone shits on snail mail advertising.
No,
but it's actually it's pretty effective. Like these days, you're just getting an onslaught online of everything. You scroll past everything on your feed, like you're oblivious to it. But when you get your mail from the mailbox, you at least have to handle it. You've got to do something with it. If it's a bunch of stuff, you've got to sort through it. Even if it's just to sort out the crap from the good stuff, you've got to touch it for a second or two at least. You've got to eyeball it. So, I reckon
it's got a little weight to it. It's a little digital device. You're probably going to open it.
Yeah. In terms of getting cut through, I think it'll work.
And then look at demographics, suburbs to put them
brand awareness
in their mail.
Yeah, and that's I think that's exactly what it is, mate. Like you've got to, you know what it's like. So I was sitting down with my daughter the other night, and she was watching some show on what are they called? Cat's Eye. You ever heard of them?
Nah,
never had I. They're a K-pop group. Massive at the moment. I'd never heard anything of them, so I sat down and I got the whole drill on who they are and what's going on. And then I swear to God, the next day, Twitter, something comes up and it was a Gap jeans ad, and it's actually that group that were in the genes had, and I wouldn't have had any clue who the hell they were had I not had that exposure the night before. And then I've had about 3 or 4 other things where they've popped up and I've gone, Jesus, they're everywhere now. But that's
I've had the same thing happen with a protocol that eventually will be released. I can't say anything about it, but like the theming of it, right? The theming and aesthetic. I went to go buy some glasses and they had the same theming that we're going for. And I was like, how?
Yeah.
How do you know?
That happened with I shouldn't say with some of my kids, like when I was naming my children, and then you start seeing that name everywhere after you've sort of decided on a name.
There's a name for it. It's like, you know, you buy a red car and then you see these red Hyundais everywhere, you know, like it's
funny, isn't it? Yeah. So once your brain's been conditioned to see something, you start to see it, notice it more. And I know there is a thing where people sort of say it's like if you're looking for like a purple car, and then if you actually go out of your way to look for purple cars, you'll actually start seeing purple cars everywhere, and you'd be surprised because you just think, how random is it that there's a purple car?
It's because it breaks into your like sphere of understanding, right?
Or not sphere of awareness, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas it's just the mundane background noise prior to that.
Yeah. You've seen the gorilla clip?
Yeah, and they're passing the ball.
Yeah, so there's a whole thing when you go to a lot of marketing workshops or things like that. They'll play a video and they go, okay, everyone, we want to watch this video, and you've got to count how many times the people throw the ball to each other. So as people in the circle, they're throwing the ball to each other.
It's a classic one.
Yeah, then they stop the video and they go, they don't ask you how many times they threw the ball. They go, did anyone see the gorilla? And everyone goes, what are you talking about, a gorilla? And then when you play it back, you see a gorilla sort of walking through, everyone throwing the ball around, but that's not where your focus is.
I suspect it's probably a like evolutionary trait that we've evolved to have, where it's sort of like your bandwidth, that your brain can only focus on so many things. It's like a survival instinct where it's like you don't want to be focusing on too many things. You need to focus on what's like a threat or something that's in front of you. But so we've been conditioned to only, and I know that's that same thing with you. There's that book, Thinking Fast, Thinking Slow, where it's like if you present someone with a very quick question, and then you can say a really dumb answer because you're actually not thinking it through, but then you write it down on paper and then you go, oh yeah, actually that makes no sense. So you've got to be careful switching between that fast brain, slow brain sort of thinking. But brand awareness.
I'll have to check that one out.
It's a hefty one. It's a good book though.
Thinking Fast, Thinking Slow. Yeah. So the best example of that is
biases and things.
I've said this once before, so people probably be like, this is easy. But it's that old one where you say if a baseball bat and a baseball costs $1.10, and you know that the bat costs $1 more than the ball, how much does the ball cost? So it's like the bat and the ball cost $1.10, the bat costs $1 more than the ball, then how much does the ball cost?
Yeah. My brain's already hurting.
Everyone says 10 cents. It's just like you go $1.10, there's $1 for the bat, it's 10 cents, right? But it's obviously not, it's 5 cents because the answer is 5 cents. It's $1 more than 5 cents, $1.05 plus the 5 is. But if you ask that, everyone says 10 cents because their brain just can't.
The going price of a bowl, I'm like 5 cents.
It just seems too obvious to go. 5 cents.
10.
But it's
the appendage of the sum.
Yeah, so you can do that, and people exploit that with statistics and things like that. So they'll give a statistic that implies something that it's not actually saying. So you got to be careful.
Is statistics a science?
Statistics is a branch of mathematics, but people don't use it very well because they don't quote confidence intervals or any of that stuff. They just go.
I don't believe anything that happens to do with statistics these days. Everyone can fudge the numbers in their favor. So
yes,
yeah. I just realized that the very first comment was actually Tangent. So I didn't even realize that he was there. And that's funny. That's funny because I just randomly said yo at the start, but I wasn't replying to Tangent. I didn't even see his original yo. But I just happened to start with yo. So that's funny because yeah, I didn't even see him. So and I didn't see this comment either. So Roy Up Saw, sorry for replying to like an hour and 55 minutes after you posted the question. But yeah, no, we have talked about that a little bit. So I guess we'll find out in the next, 2 more weeks as to what the device is. But I think, like you say, it's a mind share, it's brand awareness, and it's also, just quietly, like it's a good excuse if an entity wanted to pump the price of the token to sort of create some sort of feedback loop where green candles beget green candles. It's also a great way of kind of saying, well, it was due to the marketing. Like it was the marketing that made this go up. It could be that, but it could also just be an entity pumping the price. So I feel like it's a good scapegoat. And then also, if RH does come back to streaming, we all know he likes to dunk and to stream, with the green candles. It might be a good bragging factor for him to sort of say, look how good this marketing thing worked.
Either way, I'm happy. And I think most people will be happy.
It would be a very happy moment. He's streaming.
Yeah. But that's a good point. Yeah. Very good point you bring up, that it could just be, could be one or the other. Yeah.
It could be a proxy, I guess. But either way, if the result is the same, then who cares?
Yeah. Hex to $1. Come on.
Yep. Hex to it. 95% of statistics made up on the spot. Thank you for which. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Great stream. Thanks for covering PulseChain. Legend Frank, appreciate that. Yes, Tangent does need to come on. I think we should try and get him on for the 100th episode. So we've got 98 episodes down. And Jexa, you're of course welcome if you can make it.
So that's 2 weeks' time, is it?
Well, it'll be 2 fortnights because we're doing it every fortnight now.
Yep.
So in about a month,
sounds good.
It'll be good, and we can even get 43 OG to come out of retirement.
Oh, we're going to get the whole gang back together, aren't we?
That's right.
That'd be amazing. So good.
Yeah. So we've got 425 viewers, it seems, most on X. But thank you very much to all the viewers. Much appreciated. Thank you for all the comments, and thanks for you gents for joining me on a Friday Arvo. Is there anything you wanted to say before we wrap it up?
Not really. Hang in there, guys. We've you hung around this long. Not much longer, I think.
Don't go dumping now.
Things are looking pretty good. Things are looking pretty good.
Hold your bags. Cloister your oysters.
Exactly.
I reckon like Dozza showed the ETH BTC ratio, like that's literally what we've been talking about for a couple of years now, and you can see that. So it's happening.
There's been a massive long build up. So let's just see what comes out of it all. But
it's exciting times.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think people kind of when you get a sideways market, they zoom too far in and they don't realize that like it's just going sideways. It's just building. Give it a bit of time.
Accumulate.
And see what happens.
That's it.
Well, I mean, I think everyone who's held this long since, say, the PulseChain sacrifice, the PulseX sacrifice, I feel like they deserve like the maddest of gains at this point. So
anyone that's been crazy enough to be in crypto the last 4 years deserves a little something. Jesus Christ. Honorific.
And there's a lot of bullish stuff, when you listen to some of these guys that you see Tom Lee throwing numbers around about ETH going to 15K. And even if it only goes to half that, I think we'll still be sitting pretty, having, the 5th largest ETH strategic reserve. And the amount of dollars that potentially, like buy pressure on the side. And from Richard himself, sort of saying, the dry powder ready to ignite. I think people underestimate just how much, especially in a low liquidity ecosystem, how much this thing can send. So, and yeah, even like long term, I think that crypto is only building. They're talking about it's a $4 trillion market, and it could go up to $100 trillion and things like that. And you're kind of going, well, even if it went to half that, like a 50 trillion, that's still like $46 trillion more. That's pretty crazy. So stack your BTC and your ETH like long term, but the best ROI is got to be in PulseChain and assets on PulseChain, I would think.
Yep. And
so
sure.
On that note, we should disappear. And thanks again to you gents for joining me. And we'll see you all again in a couple of weeks. Thanks, chat. Thanks, Replay gang.
Take it easy.
Enjoy your weekend. Rock on.